So I've got everything back up now. Let me know if y'all got back in here into the card, and I'll start back over. Sorry about that. I don't know why that thing crashed. I went to add a sound to it, and it just boop, cut off on me.
Nothing's playing through.
Yeah, I
Just so
know.
you know.
I know no sounds playing through, and it's kind of
I'm saying
aggravating.
the whole video's not showing. It's all black screen. So
It should be showing. You're gonna have to go into it. Go back into it
there
again.
we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay, so everything should be good.
Everything's good.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the deal was with that. Why it did that. But we'll get back into the fight. And I'm not going to show the entirety of every single fight. I'll show more of the highlights and stuff. And really, something we got to work on as a whole is try to make sure our stream is up to the best quality we can while still being able to perform at our best. So we don't want to take away from. We don't want to have too much latency trying to make the stream too high quality. Let's see if I can turn anything down here. Uh, no. All right, so you see the heavy pressures actually seem to work a little bit here for ZZ Claw. So he's going to get overzealous because of that cut. You're going to see him throw a whole lot to that side, which he's going to get caught down the pipe for throwing it. And we don't have anybody actually in there right now. There we go. Now we're back up to our viewers. Sorry about that, guys. For everybody that's just now tuning back in, I attempted to put some sound in here for y'all, and it cut. Then they just crashed the entire stream. So we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna stay in here. You're gonna hear me and Joker talking about this fight. But I mean, if you look at the face and the money that, let's go back and hold on one second. I want to look at this. This is what I was telling you about. If you pay attention, watch it straight here. So if you watch it straight, Bop, he catches it right. He drops it, so he throws that straight very well behind it. That a lot of people throw it, but he's had a lot of success with it because he's throwing it from range. So he's catching it with the full distance. I remember he's got Moreno heavy here, and if y'all remember this fight, if y'all did watch it, this was a doctor stoppage, and you can see why he kind of works that cut with the elbow. He changes stuff up. Moreno's expecting one down the pipe. He catches the elbow, and he does really well with his body teeps too. Something that I think Spooks actually added to his repertoire as of late, and it seemed to benefit him. He's able to keep the guys at distance, keep them, where he wants them, and continue to do damage.
I just got to say,
So,
perfect
so look,
commentary.
we're at the end here. So we're not too far behind, but the damage is going to eventually pay off for him. He does really good work, and I think Moreno actually see the problem with ZDZ Claw did here is he gave too much distance. But the amount of damage that he's taken up to this point of the fight, the doctor had not stepped in. This is the first time, and he's just busted up. You can see the cut right between the eyes. He's busted that nose up. He's got a cut over the eye. I mean, really good performance by Spook in that one. And Spook, actually, I'm going to give him a shout out here. Spook actually won 3 that night, so he did a really good job of coming in and showing improvements. So we're gonna get
Also, you
right on
never
to
really
the
see Spook doing spinning elbows and
right.
stuff. So that's a good one.
And here we got Brute versus Fugitive.
Beautiful fight right here.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. So you had Brute coming in using Conor McGregor. Fugitive, of course, he's using Gilbert Burns. And another one, you see it right from distance, the 1-2, the perfect Conor McGregor strike. What's going on, Nicholas? So it's the perfect Conor McGregor combination with the 1-2. You just want to pepper him and move out. And Brute does a good job of trying to create a little distance here. Fugitive is having quite a bit of success early on in the round. And sometimes it takes guys a little bit to get to the point of, hey, I need to back away a little bit and reassess the situation. Bruce one that's actually started going onto the striking side. We know how spectacular he is with the wrestling, but he's attempting to stand up here, and he's found great success with how he's able to strike. Now, one thing I want to keep an eye on is it's going to come up a little bit later on in this fight, but that uppercut that Gilbert Burns throws, he actually found a little bit of success there. And I think if Fugitive would have been able to use that to his advantage a little bit more, it would have been a lot different fight. Uh, But like I said, Brute does a beautiful job. Just a 1-2. He's just staying in 1-2, and then he'll throw a hook every now and then, catch it from the side. But you see how he steps in. He's always first. He's not last. He's always first on most of these exchanges whenever it comes to actually doing damage. So right now he's baiting Gilbert into throwing a little bit. That way he can block it, have a little bit of success. Let's move on a little farther ahead in the fight here. See if I can get to where I'm talking about. And these will get better, guys. If it's something we continue to run, these will get better. But
Ad break, I think.
Is there an actual ad break?
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work, but yeah, it's 50 seconds. So, but Nicholas, yeah, let's run it back anytime you want.
Okay, so New York saying there is no ad for him.
30 seconds. We'll see if it works.
So we'll just continue to watch. Not for me either. So no, he doesn't have. So I guess these ads are just select few. They don't go out to everybody, I'm assuming. But if you watch kind of what Brute does there's a reason that Brute throws those body kicks. It's to bait you into throwing one of your own. He does a good job. He'll throw a body strike trying to get you to go back downstairs, catch that leg, and do a little bit of punishment. Nice elbow there. So yeah, I mean, don't sleep on Fugitive. Fugitive did have a lot of success. He did a good job. But the thing is he winded himself. Gilbert Burns is so big and so powerful. Looks like we got another ad break. So y'all just let us know if you've got ad breaks in, and we will.
I don't really understand why it's not working. But another one in a minute. So
yeah, it's there's no ad. I don't see an ad. So it's just telling us when the ads are coming up. So I mean, I don't know why they're not necessarily popping up, but hey.
But it's better. So
yeah,
let's go. Can't hate on Fugitive. He's a really good fighter anyway. So
well, in
this top level guy.
In this fight, so Master Chief did get ads, so he's the only one. I'm sorry. But if you really sit here and break down the fight, Brute does a good job of going upstairs, right? So he worked the upstairs very very well at the first part of the fight, and then he starts putting in money in the bank downstairs, try to get that guy's arms to drop down. And when his arms drop down, you just have to kind of wait and see what he does with that. Jerseys and Danny DeVito. Now I want a sandwich for him. You make me one while you're in there, Nicholas. So let's break down the stats here a little bit before they take off on us. So you got one stun and wobble actually on Conor McGregor's side, but the thing is that I believe it might be into the second round. I know that Fugitive did rock him, but I'm not sure if it's in the first or the second round. So if you look at the striking percentage, you have a higher accuracy rating for Conor McGregor, which is going to deal more damage. Now the significance, you can see where Fugitive kind of went wrong here. He's got 33 of 82%. That's a big factor when it comes to your stamina later on in this fight.
Also, the fact with the significant and the totals, it doesn't really matter at sometimes, depending on the fighter, because you can mess the dude up and have lesser strikes than the other guy, but it just depends on the person and the fighter. But going in here, Gilbert Burns a little messed up, even though he had the more striking output.
So look, I want to revisit that combination right here. But first, I do want to say, Croc, yes. So Wednesday, everybody who's watching Wednesday is the shutoff date, 12 a.m., where you can no longer sign up for the prize tournament. So yeah, sign up while y'all still can. I think we have 17 entries, and it's actually 16 because we have 2 spiders. Because I guess he can't keep his mouth shut talking to people on Xbox. But so make sure y'all sign up by Wednesday if y'all want to be a part of that. Because we're no longer going to allow. The only way we'll allow anybody else into the tournament is if somebody pulls out, which is going to be a big doubt on the prize tournament if that's going to happen. But I want to revisit this combination that he throws here. So if you watch, he throws a jab, boom, he catches him stepping in, and I think he catches him right here with another jab. No, he misses it. But a lot of guys don't throw enough to try to counter like that with that lead uppercut. So it's a beautiful strike. It's very effective if you can get somebody stepping down with it. You don't expect that coming off a jab too much either. And another thing right here, if you notice, Brute is actually stalking him. So he's getting him moving side to side, moving backwards. Fugitive kind of does not know what's going on at this point in the fight. Like I said, the 1-2 combination, that's something that was money from him from the beginning.
It's a beautiful one too.
Yeah, it's just a 1-2 little short combination, but with Conor catching that straight. Another jab. Those jabs, man, people don't use them enough, and y'all need to watch guys like Spook and Brute. Not enough guys throw those jabs out. You see a lot of power. There's a power hook there. That was a nice little. I mean, it's almost reminiscent of a check hook, but it's not. And that's something right there. The teep is something that Fugitive should have been using early on. As there's a head kick for him right there too.
Shades of Send It over here. Always the teep kick. Always the teep kick. Like that's the one you need. It'll push them back. It'll do damage to the body.
Well, see, and the thing here, let's go back and see if you see it. I think I just seen him throw it. Thing here.
I was about to cough for a second.
But right, if you use a little push off, then you're able to get them back to the cage where you want it. And Brute actually does that a couple times throughout this fight. I mean, you even see the exchanges there as straights, but Conor is going to win those Shades of Send It. Yeah, I don't know what he means by that. Nice little short elbow, and there's another one. So y'all guys need to learn to throw this as well. Watch this strike here, right? Right here. So the little elbow that they throw in the clinch. That's something that works really well, and enough guys don't throw that. I don't even know how many guys actually know that strike exists or how to throw it, but it's powerful. It's a powerful little short shot. It'll bust them open. It'll cut them up. It'll help them. I knew he rocked him at one point with that head kick. He'd had success with that head kick a lot tonight, but just too little, too late when it comes to that. I'm kind of enjoying this, guys. I would enjoy it more if we had sound. It's kind of aggravating not having the sound going with it. You see there, Bruce being a little bit more patient, but he is starting to catch those kicks, and that could have been a short night, if Fugitive was able to land those more often, because he seemed to have success with them. And not giving too much away on Brute, but he is notorious for catching the body kicks, so maybe that's in the back of his mind. Well, maybe going to body, let me try to catch low. I'll see you soon, Send It. This is another thing, man. I want to talk about this because it's so crazy. Watch this strike. This next one, I believe it's the next big hook he throws. Watch how far away. They got to fix this right there. So he catches him, and he's over a foot away from actually making contact with the strike. EA, y'all have got to get on top of that. So if you notice, he's starting to be first. He's not waiting on Gilbert to be first so many times. He's trying to be first on most of these combinations to get to him and cause some damage. There's the push off right there. Well, in the hitbox, they need to fix that. It's insane that you can be almost 2 foot away from somebody. You even see it with kicks. You can be 4 foot away from somebody and still somehow get a hit, which is insane. There's another little stun right there for Fugitive. So Fugitive kind of picked it up a little too late, I would say, in this performance. But I mean, if Brute really felt like he was in danger, you know where this fight would go. This fight would be on the ground right now. So I mean, Brute felt very confident going into this, and he does a lot of good work. And like I said, if you notice, everything works off the jab for him. Everything works off the jab very well.
A lot of unanswered body hits there. So.
Well, and there's a reason behind those. If you're listening, he gets rocked right there, and that's another one. Like I said, pay attention to that uppercut from earlier. He does end up catching him with it. So I mean, there was some susceptibilities, but they backed away too far from each other. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a one-hit wonder when it comes to the Doctor. He only comes in one time and stops his fight. But it's the jab, man. If you just look at the nose, it's the jab. The eye, it's all from that side. So he did phenomenal work at picking him apart. So we got our next matchup here with Hummer versus Jays. This is 5-round interim heavyweight championship bout. This is another one, man, where I had high hopes and high expectations for Hummer. You can definitely see there's a lot of potential there that he could have done so much more with this fight.
Yeah, Ciryl Gane's not
But
a.
like I said, I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention to the leg kicks, the body knees, and that elbow and the left hand side. He has a big tendency to throw that side. Jay does. He has a lot of success in this fight to throw into that side in particular. And the thing I think was the biggest takeaway from this fight was Hummer was he didn't have his foot on the gas pedal. He was backing away. He did not have his foot on the gas pedal at all. He gets rocked there with a big shot, but it's like he was almost scared to throw that first shot off. He was waiting for a counter. Against Ciryl Gane, you're not going to get that counter as much as you want. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff here that Hummer does right. So I mean, I don't want to take away from his performance at all. There's a lot of stuff he does right, but you know, when it went wrong pretty quick. See, there's another hitbox reaction that he was a foot away from the body, but he still makes contact with it. And I would have liked to see more out movement. You know, he does a lot of inward movement, but I'd like to see more out movement and circling from Hummer, you know, in his next performance. Nice leg kick, looked like that XA rocked him. So we're going to pick up through the fight just a little bit. See, there's a shot right there. If he could have caught more of those, I think it would have been a different night. But he wasn't throwing with a lot of ill intention, per se. And the main one's going, I'm kind of more excited to try to attempt to break down here. I mean, and as we start doing these breakdowns more and more, yeah, exactly. And Sennett was talking about that too, and I'm glad you brought that up in chat. There was no wrestling by Hummer, and he had the big advantage when it comes to the takedown. He should have took him to the ground and tried to smother him down there to really slow down what Jay was able to bring here. Jay's mixing it up so well with his strikes right now. Hummer's not really knowing exactly what's coming. And see if he would have thrown that exact shot I was talking about earlier, that left hook out of that slide over, it could have been a short night of work for him. No, he's not working the jab or the hook on the slide out, which was insane to me when you're able to pick up those reads. He's done it, you know, quite a few times in the fight. And like I said, if you rewatch the fight I had with him, he's a very, I would guess you say, pressure heavy style of guy. And you could tell right there, Jay was willing to get up off the ground, so he didn't want to be down there. So I think Hummer could have changed the tune of this fight if he would have took this fight down to see how much success he would have had on the ground. But now, all of a sudden, you're at the back door watching Jay have a future title fight with the East Coast Ripper and potentially have 2 belts in the league. It's almost a standoffishness that Hummer has in this fight. I guess, you know, the pressure of it being an interim fight. But see here, in that moment, I think instead of going for that knee, you definitely want to go for a takedown because you see the success with the knee bench means he was not blocking low. You could have got that fight down to the ground. In this situation here, I want to revisit that one. So we'll get back to it. He did have success with this shot in particular. Let's see if I can time it. It's right here. This shot, if he would have thrown the lead, I think it would have been a lot better for him. No, it's not that shot. He gets it in just a second. Right here. So if he would have thrown that lead, I think it would have brought him back over into that rear hook. It would have been a lot more effective. He does catch it, however, but I think just being able to switch that up just a little bit, bring that lead hook back to the rear hook, I think would have hurt. See, he has success. There it is again. He's able to catch it. But I mean, you're also what 2 minutes and 3 seconds, so you're already halfway through this fight. I think it's a little bit too late. Halfway through the round, I'm sorry. I think it's a little bit too late to trying to bring that out. You need to attempt to do that at the beginning of the rounds. Yeah, some uppercuts would definitely have paid dividends on a lot of this. But not take away from Jay. Jay had a phenomenal performance. He worked the legs like he needed to. and he does a good job overall of taking advantage. There it is. There's that elbow. But he does a good job of taking advantage of when Hummer does decide to come in and be aggressive. There's that elbow again. And that elbow is going to play a factor going on later into this fight as well. So where you at, Joker? Yeah, I mean, and you're fighting a kickboxer, so you need to. Oh, there's a little stun there with the uppercut. And see the aggressiveness here. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about from our fight. This aggressiveness here is what I attempted to use against him throughout our bout. And it's Hummer's not doing that. He's so scared of getting caught here that he's not stepping in. I'm not gonna say scared, man. I don't want to make it sound like that, but he's not taking away this distance to close to attempt to hurt him himself. And right here, Jay's showing a bit of patience. He's not going in. He's gonna start letting Hummer throw his own shots, attempt to counter. He's already hurt him big quite a few times. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of timidity. There's that shot again. Like I said, to keep an eye on that side. He done throwing about 3 elbows, caught him with that. I mean, at this point, the eyes already starting to swell. But yeah, he's just backing away. He's not want to take any big shots. Jay does a good job of closing some distance, catching some leg kicks in there. And I think one of the keys to this fight for Jay was to use his distance well. He uses it well. He kicks the leg. Yeah, I mean there was a bit from yeah. Both of them are definitely open for the front kicks. But Jay does a good job of keeping his range, doing the damage from the outside. But when he does go in, he throws those big shots. He's able to connect with them. He connects with the uppercut, the lead hook, the lead elbow was another one. And like I said, that's one to keep an eye on. There's actually a lead hook there. So we'll take a pause in the action for a second. We'll look at the stats. So you see for Cyril Gane, his numbers are 45 of 101. So his total strikes, he's at about 45%. He's close to 50% on his significant strikes, which is a big thing. You're kind of around the same numbers here, but this is the problem that Hummer had going into this round. He needed to get it to the ground because you see, he did have 2 or 3 takedowns and only had 15 seconds of control, so he didn't want to be there too often. Call me Jay, but he did have 3 stuns and wobbles. So all he has to do at this point is stay at distance and work the distance games. You just want to snipe him. But this right here is a big thing when you're using Stipe Miocic. He should be on the ground doing his work. So you under a car working right now, Croc? So we go back into this. You see him working a little bit of distance there, but still at the same time, Hummer's just a little bit lackadaisical with his attempts to step in and really put some damage. He goes for a takedown there, but he does not capitalize. If you're gonna get down there, you need to stay down there. Had to strip him. Oh, that sucks. Been there, Croc, numerous times having to fix a broken bolt. And right here, you see Jay pressing the issue. He's pressing the action a little bit more. He's getting up in his face. He's going to start making this a dirty fight and attempt to do a little bit more damage on that right eye. Which, and the biggest problem with this fight is Hummer was willing to disengage and back away when he's got that much damage to the eye. Oof. So I mean, we've all seen how his fight plays out. You see the success that Jay had with attacking this eye over here. He's going to use the teep. He's going to miss a couple shots. He's going to go for the eye again. And he had a lot of luck and success with hitting that. There it is right there. He hits him again in that eye. He drops him this time. So he put money into hurting Stipe's eye. And we're going to go a little bit forward. Yep, there it is right there. So you see, he already looks at it once. The referee steps up. Doctor comes in. They take a look at that eye. And now you'll see kind of where Hummer didn't do what he should have in protecting it. And Jay did a good job in targeting it. He sets everything up off that teep kick. See if he did. There he goes again. It's that lead elbow, man. That lead elbow, Jay's so good at sneaking that in there. That's one thing. If you're fighting against somebody like that, you got to stay away from him because he is going to tear that side of your face up. Jay does a good job of recovering from this stun. But I mean, it's almost like it's too little, too late. And Jay knew that going up to this point that he had this. I'm not gonna say fight in the bag. It's only round number 2, but he's done a lot of damage. The eyes closed, eyelids actually starting to fold over. It's itself, you know. And that's another one, man. It's been so long since he's thrown any of those. He has no success in getting that takedown. He does have good success with the upper kick, but Jay just come out here and put on a good performance. I would say he headhunted a little bit. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say he headhunted a little bit because he did go to a lot of leg work. He did work the legs a lot. He actually got a stun on the legs. He put in a little bit to the body, but when it came to that eye, he just kept targeting it and targeting it and targeting it. And you'll see here that the fight's not gonna go
the
on.
eyelid. I had a phone call. Sorry.
Yeah, the fight's not gonna go on after that.
The eyelid is showing.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have a lot of guys like the headhunt.
That is true. It's hard to mix yourself up and make you hit the body a lot because kind of freaks you out. You go for a body hit and they hit you with the uppercut. You kind of.
Yeah. So next we're gonna go into the Chancellor. You know, who earned his title shot up here against Ion. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this known now. You know, yeah, Ion's got that belt. He is an Argent, but you haven't beat the lineal champ yet. But Ion does a good job here of getting Chancellor out of his game plan. He starts catching him on his way in. He started picking up the timing really early on Chancellor when it comes to him making the strikes. He's always one strike ahead of him. He puts 2 together to 1 for the Chancellor. But Chancellor never really was able to get his footing and his timing down on Ion. Because Ion, I want you to really pay attention here to what Ion does with his footwork. So he's catching his strikes, he does his little damage, and he's backing away. He's not really letting the Chancellor get anything in terms of significant strikes off to hit him. It's just an in and out movement, man. And this is really important for y'all guys in the league that are watching. This in and out movement, it's so crucial. Yeah, Chancellor definitely didn't look his best in this fight, but I'm not taking anything away from Ion because I think that was what Ion did. He just stunned him. He didn't really throw anything, I would say, too repetitive out at him, and he really never let him get going. And yeah, that is a problem that Chancellor had tonight. He wanted to step forward and plant his feet. And Cowboy's not notorious for those big punches. You know, it's those kicks. You really got to work the kicks. But in terms of kicking game, today the kicking game, or yesterday the kicking game we saw was more on par for Ion than it was for Chancellor. And Ion's the one that doesn't sit idle for very long. You know, he's going to throw something, he's going to keep you guessing, and he's going to point you. He's going to get points. But you see, Chancellor is looking for that uppercut, and then, you know, he has a lot of success with the body knee, but he's not throwing anything from range. He's wanting to stand here and yeah, that's fine. But that link is actually fixing to be changed. Send it. That link's actually fixing to be changed. So because I have a new link now, so I actually did away with that one. But the body, just the not the body. I'm sorry, but the leg work that Ion puts on, and he wants to keep you guessing. You know, is phenomenal. Nice little teep pushes him down.
You can see the nerves in Chancellor.
Well, yeah, it's a title fight. It's a big fight. This is a way to change the rankings. This is the way to put a staple on that and put that championship title beside your name. Even if you ever lose that belt, you're always going to have the former champ. You're always going to be a former champ in this league. You're going to have held a belt. You know,
that heavy pressure is a thing. Like it really.
Well, it is. It's a lot of pressure, but it's a fun title to have to say that, hey, I've got to that point. I've won the belt. Yeah, Yeah, he is doing lateral movement. It's in and out, and Ion actually starts to pick up on that as the fight progresses. You see there? Let's go back. I want to, because I was talking about that earlier on in the fight. Is watch his in and out footwork. So Ion's going to be in. He's going to throw a couple strikes, and he's going to start to back away, and that plays really well into his game plan. You'll see it just a second. You're going to see Chancellor go for a head kick. He's going to miss right there. He's going to miss that head kick because of the in and out movement by Ion. Ion's not taking any big damage. And at this point in the fight, you see a lot of sitting and waiting by Chancellor.
Yes, sir.
And he rocks him there with the uppercut. Chancellor is not blocking. And at these points in the fight, when you're fighting somebody like Ion, he's going to exploit your weaknesses while you're hurt. He's going to keep throwing. I don't throw so much, but he is. If I don't remember, I think we get past this round. We do get past this round. We're going to look at the stats, and you'll see that. I mean, he had quite a bit of success.
Ion always puts you in that spot that you're not really comfortable being in, and it kind of makes you second guess yourself a lot.
Well, I mean, if you get into a fighter like Brute compared to a fighter like Ion, they both have their pluses, but they put you in positions that are very, very awkward, that they're very strong at. You see the pressure. You see the pressure starting to pick up a little bit more for Chancellor in the later part of this round, but he's still standing still, attempting to get a shot off planted feet, which is not going to be that best idea going against somebody like Ion unless you have a good read.
He's trying to do all the sways, the uppercuts, all the lean backs, all the stuff, and the flying knees. It's not really, nothing's working. So
the volume does.
Not the best. So.
The volume does, Croc. It does hurt a lot of guys. You know, not a lot of guys can deal with that pressure. But he gets a little stunned here. The lean back, you know, that's something that Chancellor's been notorious for catching. But it looks like, I don't know if he didn't just have the best training camp going into this. Or, you know, I didn't see him a whole lot in the gym, so I don't know who he was training with or where. But you know, Ion's always putting in that work. So you got 0 seconds here. We're fixing to go to the stats. And this right here, okay, was he throwing a lot? Yes. Was he highly successful? He landed 50%. Landed a little over 50% on your significant strikes. He had 1 stun and wobble. Or Chancellor was pretty close. I mean, it wasn't too terrible, but it's here that the problem lied in missing so many of his significant strikes.
And being 50% is like a rare thing because
you usually see around a 42% clip for guys, 40% clip for most guys going, you know, fighting in the league. But this here, it was actually a really good number for Chancellor. The 109, he really tuned down the volume he was throwing out, but the significance or where he was lacking. So that hurts you going forward. Plus, he's already got that stun and wobble against him. I believe his nose is busted up already, and it is. You can see it right there. Yeah, you know, that's another thing that we don't see a lot of our guys circling out anymore. I mean, and Anon is actually, honestly, one of the hardest ones to circle out. Because if you try to circle away from his power, he's going to throw the lead kick to keep you within his distance. He's going to keep you from circling out too far. But yeah, I mean, this is just a really good performance by Ion in defending that belt. Yeah, and y'all have to be careful. There's some guys that are really good in firefights, really good up close and making it nasty. So you got to be real careful. And then there's a lot of guys in here that want to make it firefights and want to make it nasty because they believe they have the upper hand. But sometimes the styles make fights. You just get in there with somebody that you do not want to be trading with in the pocket. Sometimes you get hit and rocked. You want to get it back. And that kind of seemed to be the downfall of Chancellor in this fight. He was trying to get something back too quick. But I was able to counter him like you see here. He's throwing a lot, but he's landing a lot. And I don't want to. I'm not going to sit here and call Chancellor, you know, one dimensional. But this fight, he really didn't look his best. There's that uppercut. So you see here, Chancellor finally attempting to get a little bit of distance by throwing something that could hurt you and throwing those elbows. Yeah, absolutely. You can use that switch stance to circle away.
If you notice, Chancellor likes to get like a shot in, so like he's trying to go for a hit that's going to hurt him, which he doesn't have that opportunity right now.
Right.
He's getting pushed back, getting hit, getting smacked a lot. He's going for these like hits that are supposed to rock you, but not yet. and then he gets body hit right there. Boom.
Yeah, and it was surprising to see Ion actually not go for the finish in that spot. But he does bust up that nose. So, I mean, what do you do at this point in the fight that everything hasn't been successful? And that's one thing I don't see guys change enough. If everything hasn't been successful to this point in the fight, you were getting beat. It's time to change the game plan up. It's time to
Yeah.
change the style that you're
You got to
fighting with.
adapt and overcome on that.
Because he has been hurt a lot. Ion has been spectacular with his footwork, and I think the key to his victory when he won and defended his belt yesterday was his footwork.
He's planting his feet too much. He's trying
Yeah.
to stand there and bang with him, but it's not at that point anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the first round, maybe the first couple, minute, two, maybe. But oh, there it is again. It's just not that fight anymore.
Right.
Ion has it. He's always coming in. He's always changing. He's always adapting. He's always doing something different, and you don't know what's coming.
Yeah. And you could see almost the sense of urgency for Spec here in this round. He's throwing a lot of elbows trying to catch him up close, which is something he should have done earlier. And a little bit of a panic takedown there.
Yep,
These are things that should have been
panic wrestle right there.
These are things that should have been done earlier. Yeah, you definitely don't want to sit there and exchange with somebody like Justin in the pocket. Justin Gaethje is a dog, and he's a monster. And now he's just starting to catch him from range. And I mean, it was almost like when the floodgates opened and he and Munster cheese. When the floodgates opened and he started to get hurt, it was almost a downward spiral at that point. So we do have a bit of an ad break. I don't know if everybody has it, but we're gonna pause it for the time being. All right, looks like we are back. Okay, so it was just one of the smaller ads. So you see, it's just downhill at this point. Spec's not really sure what's coming. He's wanting to stand still in an attempt to trade, throwing a lot of shots down to try to get this fight down to the ground. But I mean, at this point, Ion has already seen that coming, seen a lot of the slip sways, and yeah, you can see the exhaustion, the pure exhaustion. It's from that nose work with Ion working that jab. Knocks him down, and I believe this is the end of the fight. The Spec might have, yeah, he does get up from this one. Another knockdown there. Up. Yeah, this is it right here. So I mean, in that fight, watching that fight overall for what it was, the footwork of Ion was spectacular. The body work of Ion, the straights. I mean, he was willing to go in there and take damage, but he did an amazing job at going out there and pretty much like Brute just said, he beat a stationary target, right? So I mean, that's it for now, gentlemen. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit better. Yeah, Spec did join your gym, Brute. I'm talking in second person, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, he did join your gym. But anyway, overall, it was a great card, great turn of events. Ion goes out there, shows why he's the champion. So a lot of these guys, man, a lot of the champions you have in these divisions are proven champions. They're not in there. No, he was in our gym, but he decided to leave and go to yours.
He's been in our gym, and then yeah, he went to Daddy Brute over there.
Yeah, he left our gym and turned to your gym, which is fine, man. He didn't get a lot of training in there. Uh, do we know what the prize of the tournament is? Yeah, we've been done. I mean, there wasn't any beef on why he left. He decided it was best for him, and we're cool with that. We never hate on guys for that. So he's been with us for a while, and that's cool, man. Hey, more power to him. I want y'all guys to grow. I want y'all to get better. So if another gym is what that takes for y'all to get better, then by all means, y'all go join that gym. And I want the best version of y'all in these fights.
Yes, sir. Get your coaching on right there.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, without further ado, yeah, we're wrapping this up, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, the next time I worked on something, but for some reason it didn't have the volume in like I wanted it. Uh, yeah, so I don't know why I did that, but I'm working on it for the next one, y'all, and hopefully it'll turn out even better. But until next time, gentlemen. I mean, we had 9 guys in here watching this, so obviously they want it. So we'll
Pretty
work
good
on
for
something.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll work on something better for y'all guys next time, man. Without further